Welcome to I Heart Geek. One, and welcome to another episode of I Heart Geek. Oh, this is going to be fun.
Right.
Before I get into
You're
the
welcome,
cast and everything,
listeners.
yes, we're talking the Eternals. Now this is delayed because we were supposed to have done this one literally when it was in the theaters, and I don't know what happened, but life got in the way, and then we're like, okay, well, we'll wait till it gets on Disney Plus, and now it's on Disney Plus. So hey, we're doing Eternals.
Yay, better late than never.
Yeah, it's good. So I'm Dub. I am here with Kevin, as we met last week on the last Boba Fett, and we are here with Miss Courtney.
Sup, y'all?
You're still here.
Who missed me? Everybody missed me.
I missed you.
I'm incredibly missable. He says he misses me, but he talks to me almost every day, guys.
Oh, and you don't talk back. Okay, bite me. Okay. So let's talk the Eternals now. There's goods and there's bads. I know it now that's on Disney Plus, it's getting a lot more negative reaction, I think, than it did in the theaters. And I have some theories behind that. We'll get to that in a minute. My thoughts on the Eternals has changed quite a bit. When I first watched it, I was on board 100%. And now that I've watched it 3 times, I definitely have some issues, which we'll get into. Let's start with you, Kevin. What's your thoughts on the Eternals in general?
So it's a tale of two halves for me. The first half
is the best of movies, and it was the worst of movies. I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. Go ahead.
Well, it was the first part was just, it was a trudge. I mean, and the biggest problem with the movie to me is that it is the number 10. Is they introduced 10 new characters that you're supposed to care about and have relationships with, and thousands of years of history, and they try to cram it all into an hour and a half. And that first hour and a half, hour and 20 minutes was tough for me. But the last half, I loved. I loved where it got to, but it took a long time to get there. You know what I mean?
That's a fair thought.
Yeah.
And I've actually heard that from a lot of people, so you're not alone in that. Courtney, I know you are in love with this movie. Talk about this. Talk about why you love this movie.
Well, I mean, I love this movie, but that doesn't mean it's not without its problems and its issues.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there are problems and there are issues. I really like it. I think part of the reason I love it is, one, because I love a lot of the actors that they have cast in this. You know, I love Gemma Chen, I love Salma Hayek, I love Kit Harington, Camille Nanjiani. I love them all. But I mean, the other thing is I like how different it is from
I can agree with that.
A lot of the Marvel fare, and you guys know I'm a huge Marvel girl. This is not anything new. But I like the different direction that this one took from some of the stuff that we've seen. And I think that's what we're seeing in general from Marvel, is each one is a little bit of a different departure from what we've seen before. Shang-Chi, Black Widow, this one. That's what I like about it a lot.
Some fail and some don't. I'm not saying anything on anything.
What?
Because you brought up the casting, I want to talk about one horrible miscast, I think.
In your opinion?
In my opinion, I think that Angelina Jolie looked like a drowned rat, and she was completely wasted in this role. I don't feel like, I didn't connect with her at all. I didn't care at all with this character, and she's like a superstar. Maybe I expected more out of her than out of some of the other actors.
You expected more. Yeah, you definitely expected more. I did too.
But
I think that actually goes to what Kevin was saying. With the introduction of 10 characters.
It's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about this before, where we talk about having, when it's like the 2 villain syndrome, it's hard for us to figure out which villain we hate the most and all that stuff. And I think in terms of what Kevin was saying, that may be what the problem is that you're having with Angelina Jolie, is that because there are so many characters that we have to care about. And really, let's be honest, even though they introduced 10 of them, it was the Circe and Icarus show.
Yeah, yes.
For a good part of it. And so we didn't get the same development between Thena and Gilgamesh, Makari and Droog, and we didn't get the same amount of time spent. And to Kevin's point is like, we don't have enough time in this movie period to spend enough time getting to know all 10 of those characters anyways. So that may be part of the reason that you thought Angelina's character was wasted, because we don't spend a lot of time with Thena and Thena alone.
And this does go back to what we've discussed with a lot of the Marvel movies lately. The issue that we're having is they're packing the entire TV show into the 2 to 3 hour movie. And that's, we've gotten so spoiled on these TV shows, and they're trying to give it to us in these movies, and they can't. They need to just say, screw it. We're in the TV.
This would have been a great TV show.
This would have been so fantastic.
I agree. I think it would have been even better as a 16 TV show.
16 episodes, because you could have really done it, and I would have been happy.
Dug into the relationships, and then you would actually feel when the double crosses happen.
You care about Sprite. You care about, another thing this is doing, this really had an issue with managing expectations. They gave you so much in the beginning that my expectations were so high and they didn't deliver. And I'll give you a good example. First song you hear in the movie is freaking Pink Floyd's Time. And you're watching the theaters and the surround sound is like Pink Floyd at its best. You're like, yes, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be buying this soundtrack as soon as we're done. And then it's like, there's no more memorable music. They had a problem with giving you what you wanted and then not giving you any more of what you wanted. I think is that just a me thing? But I say I like this movie. I want to like it more, and I'm trying to figure out why I don't. If that makes sense to everybody. Courtney,
yeah, no, it makes.
I can't tell you why you didn't like it. I can only say why I did.
Yeah.
But again, it's also, I think maybe the biggest thing is that it is different. It is the most different of all Marvel fare thus far. And so, I mean, we all go into a Marvel movie with an expectation of what we are going to get. Now, each one is a different adventure.
Yeah.
But
this was Marvel Justice League. I mean,
this film is set up differently than any of the other ones that have come before it. But I think if you go in realizing that and knowing that, but I mean, the other thing is we talked about this way before the film even came out, and we knew it was coming. The Eternals as a character set, they're boring. They're not something. Yeah, I mean, there's not something, little kids running around in the front yard are not pretending to be Kinko, or they're pretending to be Ajak. I mean, that's just the way it is. At the most, maybe they're pretending to be Gilgamesh or Thena, but nobody,
they're not.
I mean, these aren't characters, right? These aren't characters. These aren't the X-Men. These aren't the Avengers.
And Neil Gaiman doesn't write things for kids. I've said it a million times, Neil Gaiman is my favorite writer in history, and he wrote the Eternals. He created them. Well, he borrowed from the Justice League, but he quote unquote created the Eternals. But he doesn't make stuff for kids, which he has some kids books, but let's be honest.
But I mean, when he's writing this kind of stuff, it's really
talking about Sandman. No.
Yeah. But I mean, you're forgetting about Coraline and Mr. Chew and all that stuff.
But that's still pretty dark for even most kids.
That's neither here nor there. So.
Well, it was almost like this show was setting up its own little mini universe, like the Celestial Eternals universe. And so from this point forward, just like we have like the quote unquote space universe with the Guardians of the Galaxies and Captain Marvel as she's going to start flying out. Then you have your big world universe where really it's just Earth's mightiest hero. Like this is going to be like the new universe they're trying to set up. That's what it seems like.
Yeah, I feel like they should have given us 5 characters. That's about what they gave us in in Guardians, and I think that's about what we can handle at a time. Because Guardians, nobody knew anything about or cared about before the movie came out. Let's be honest.
Well, and the thing is I think to Kevin's point, if they had done it like Avengers, where we had been built up for those 6 characters, and even when we got to Endgame, when we had 25 million of them, but we had all those movies before Endgame that gave us Thor, Doctor Strange, Rocket, and everybody like that. We built up so we could handle all of them in Endgame. In this, we're handed 10. Here you go. Here's the 10. Here's 2.5 hours where you have to figure out who's who, and you know what I mean? Again, it's also with the Eternals, if you're not familiar with the book, most of the time with the Marvel movies, if you're not familiar with the books or the characters themselves, you can follow along and you're fine. Like I've said it before, my mom doesn't read the comics, but my mom loves Marvel movies and she can follow along. She might miss the inside jokey stuff, but she loves them. She was lost with the Eternals. And there really wasn't anything I could do to kind of help her along.
It's high concept. And that's great, but again, this is something that they should have released on Disney Plus, as maybe even if they would have done it as a 3-part mini. You know, done 45, 45, 45. That I think people could have handled a little easier. I just don't feel like that they gave it to us the right way, I want to say. And yes, I am all for change it around, make it different. Even some of the setups. And let's talk about what are some of the setups we're seeing, and that is the birth of the mutants is supposed to be coming from this movie. I'll let you guys talk about it. Kevin, you start with you and with the Namor stuff that you were talking about.
Okay, so at the end of this movie, I've been trying to figure out what the Celestial coming out of the water was, and it's such this huge event. So like, what does it mean? What's going to happen? And they've been saying Namor's coming since they mentioned earthquakes in Avengers Endgame. About maybe Namor's going to come, and like this would be like a great way to bring him back. Like, what if that Celestial was some kind of power source or something for Namor, and now all of a sudden their power source is gone, or their power source is now to where everybody else can grab onto it. Like it could be,
Yeah. Courtney, what about you? What are you catching on?
I know Namor is supposed to be the villain in Black Panther 2. And that's a rumor, but I think that's probably actually correct. And it goes back to what you were saying, Kevin, in Endgame, because it specifically, Okoye says it was an earthquake off the African coast so I mean, it makes sense. And Namor is also one of T'Challa's biggest, I don't want to say nemesis, but kind of is. They're not rival.
Kind of frenemies.
Yeah, I mean, because sometimes Namor's bad and sometimes Namor's good.
He's always a butthole. That's kind of his charm.
Sometimes he's a hero.
That's his charm.
You know how it is. You know how it is.
Ask Reed Richards what he thinks about Namor.
Right, and I mean, I think it's interesting that you said this is probably the introduction of the mutants, because I still follow underneath what we talked about in WandaVision actually wound up being a mutant, and that mutants coming from there. But that's just my interpretation
on what
about that.
You read on that too.
Yeah, so I mean, it could be either way. It could be either way. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I thought their ability to defeat the Celestial was pretty easy.
It was.
It was a little easy. And I also didn't like the fact that they didn't put Kingo back in the final battle, considering when Arishem comes and takes them, he takes Kingo too. And I'm like, but Kingo wasn't even part of this. He wasn't even there fighting.
He ran away.
He kind of ran away. So he shouldn't be busted for this. But
well, and
those are some of the things I had issues with.
Well, see, I think that with the Celestial, when he froze or turned to stone or whatever it is, to put him to sleep, whatever it is that they're calling it, I think a lot of his power source goes out, and that's where you get the X gene. And I think that's how they're going to do it, and I'll be happy with
possible.
At least that gives us a explanation of why every million years or so, evolution takes a giant leap forward.
Yeah, but I mean, the other thing you could say is that the deviants, that the one that was able to, I can't remember. Who was? Yeah, he's literally mutating.
Mm-hmm.
He's mutating. So I mean, that's another.
That is
your mutation.
And that's his creation.
Yeah, I mean, he's a mutation of sorts.
Well, in the comics, the Celestial is actually the reason why we get the X-Men mutants and everything, because they were researching on people, right? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, and
I think the mutants are going to come during Multiverse of Madness. I think that's where the tease is. There's already a whole universe over there that's been mutated up, so you don't lose the rich history of Wolverine and stuff.
Well, and if all of the rumors are true about what's going to happen in Multiverse of Madness, I'm kind of on board with that, Kevin. So, especially now that they've mentioned the possibility of Reed Richards being in there.
And we are going to see Icarus again, by the way.
Yeah, they did. I read something about that as well.
That got out.
Well, the thing is you're not going to cast him if you're going to kill him off in one movie.
True. Tell me something. How funny was it?
Saying Icarus is coming back?
Yeah, there's an article that Icarus is coming back. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But with the multiverse coming, you can do anything at this point in time.
Do anything.
Tell you something I really loved is that moment seeing Kit Harington and what's his name? Rob Stark.
Oh yeah.
You mean the Kings of the North?
Yeah. I loved seeing those two together. They kind of looked at each other, and I'm like, "Oh, that's a little fan service."
Nice.
So the last thing the King of the North told to what's his face, to Kit Harington, Jon Snow, was, "Next time I see you, you're all gonna be wearing black." And then the next time
you'll be in black.
Wearing black. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be in black.
I thought that was a nice touch.
The Kings of the North.
Another thing I really loved was the little Star Wars nod they had in there. I want to see him play something in Star Wars. Rob Stark. I don't remember. No, the other one. I always forget his name.
Richard Marsden.
Yes. I'm going to forget again right now. But
Richard Marsden.
I want to see him do
Just
something in
Rob
Star
Stark.
Wars. I'll call him Rob Stark because that's what he is to me. I think he'd be fantastic in that universe. Let's see. Oh, something that I wanted to spell, and that was before anybody had watched the movie, I think, or just a few people had. I heard all this garbage about, this movie's so woke, and that's why people aren't watching it. And I'm like, no. I'm very anti-politics in my movies. I'm on board about don't put your politics in my movies. I don't care. It wasn't there. I mean, there was slight gay kiss, and there was a slight heterosexual makeout session, and that was, I don't get what the whole woke thing was.
It was because of the diversity of the cast. That's why.
It was normal. It seemed so normal. It didn't seem shoehorned in. It was just very normal.
Yeah,
I agree. I think every actor that was chosen, again, and we've talked about this before, is Marvel's really good at casting their parts. I think every actor that was chosen for,
you can't say that.
Doug will argue with me on Gilgamesh, but I like the casting of Gilgamesh. I think everybody was cast.
Yeah.
And like Kevin said, wasn't shoehorned in. It was pretty organic.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's where you get issues with some of these movies, is if they shoehorn in and make sure that, it's got to have this. And it didn't feel like that to me in this movie at all. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to kind of put that one to bed. And I still even heard it after it came out in Disney Plus. I'm like, I don't see it at all.
I think it's just the diversity of the cast. It rubs some people the wrong way.
Hey, side note, was that the first makeout session in Marvel?
Yeah.
Because my daughter was like, "Daddy, why are they why are they kissing? Why aren't their clothes on? She's 6 years old. I'm like, oh, it's okay, baby.
Yeah,
It's
it's
it
the
was the
first
first
one
one.
of that kind. Yeah.
But I
Okay.
am glad that they've stayed away from it. I wish they would continue because
Mhm.
no matter how much these movies are for us, I want them to be for kids because that's
Yep.
nobody's buying
I-
comics. Just
I
saying.
will have to say that is actually one thing I did not like. And I'm a huge love story kind of girl. I
I've read your books. I know.
Right. I'm by no way a prude whatsoever. So that's not where this is coming from. I don't think that scene was needed.
Mm-hmm.
We got the point.
Yeah. Well, see, it's the same thing I said when I reviewed Kingsman. It's like they have just one scene and it just goes too far. And it's not that it didn't show anything, but it wasn't worth it.
Wasn't worth it. That's a good way to say
it wasn't
appropriate.
It wasn't needed to move the story or the plot along.
Yeah.
And that's how I kind of feel about this love scene. It's like it wasn't needed to move the plot or the story along at all.
Now, if they had
in my opinion.
If they had this split into a TV show that was 16 episodes, I could totally see them having a scene like that because it's their love story and that, but it didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, and I'm going to get a lot of hate from this. I know it. I personally don't think their love story was all that.
I didn't buy it at all.
Mm-mm.
No, I don't think
it was a hookup.
They're both beautiful, beautiful actors and they're gorgeous to look at. They had the romantic chemistry of a couple of pieces of toast.
They were brother and sister.
The chemistry between the chemistry between Gilgamesh and Thena and between Makari and
was real.
Droog.
Yeah.
Those two were the two love stories that really got my attention. Not the Circe and Icarus.
Even Sprite had a better chemistry with Icarus.
Yeah, that was one of my issues. I still love this movie, but that was one of my issues.
I don't think that they explored that well enough, the Sprite thing.
Mm-mm.
Any of it. This character got completely lost, and it's such an amazing character.
Mm-hmm. But again, it got lost. Like Kevin said, 10 characters at once.
Yeah. And you also got to look at it this way. Could really any of them carry their own movie before you'd heard of them? No. Maybe Icarus. Maybe. Ajax definitely could. That's about it. And they killed her too fast. I'm sorry. Spoilers.
Yeah. As a hardcore Salma Hayek fan, I was very angry.
Yeah.
I was like, what? You killed my queen already? I was very mad. I was like, I'm in this for her.
We know you were excited about that one. But that one
she's one of my favorite
That was a waste.
So.
I would have rather that, honestly, her and Angelina Jolie switch places on their roles. Because I don't
know though. I
don't know if I could see Salma Hayek playing
playing
Wonder Woman. Let's be honest. Yeah,
she couldn't have played Thena. But she's good as the spiritual advisor of them all.
And you don't care about the Flash and what's his name. You just don't care about the characters. So they just like, okay, you forget about him by the end of the movie.
Makari and Droog?
Yes, I think you forget about them by the end of the movie.
I liked them.
I like them, but you forget about them because they're not.
The one I forgot, and to the point where I can't even remember what his name is now.
The black guy?
I just rewatched it. Yeah, the Tinkerer, whatever his name is.
Okay, speaking of him,
I can't remember what his name is.
See, what he was using, was that what the 10 rings are created out of?
Oh my God!
I just broke Kevin.
Yeah, because it's the same style. Yeah.
If you remember in Shang-Chi, they say it's older.
Older than
time. Bruce says that it's older than time. Yeah, it's implied that. I don't know whether it's implied that he specifically created the 10 rings.
There's a countdown on it. Remember, he said there's a clock on it.
Yeah, so it's either because that tells them how old they are. So I don't know if it's implied that he specifically created it, or but we know that a celestial created them.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Or an eternal created them, sorry. So yeah, my bet is that it'll tie in that he created the rings, the 10 rings.
Now, two other things we need to talk about, and they're both in the post credits. Let's talk about the one I'm excited about, and that is the Blade and Black Knight 3. Well, they're not going to call it Black Knight 3, just Black Knight. I am in 100%. And no, the first time I watched, I did not know it was Blade. Courtney, thank you.
He had no idea. I had to tell him.
Didn't know. That's okay.
I literally said
I knew who Black Knight was. I didn't know.
After I watched it,
I didn't know it was Blade.
I sent him a text. I said, Blade! And he writes back and he goes, where? And I said, in the end credits, talking to Kit Harington. He goes, that was Blade? And I'm like, well, you have to know what Mahershala Ali sounds like. But yes, that was Blade.
And looking back, the writing was in vampiric.
Sense, yeah. Once I said it, you
I got it.
The dots.
I am looking forward to this movie probably more than most of the upcoming movies. I don't know. It's
gonna be an amazing Blade. I can tell.
I don't know if they're doing their own movies, even though it's going to be tough stacking up against the Wesley Snipes Blade. Because
Wesley Snipes Blade,
cheese balls it is. I love those movies. 1 and 3 anyway. 2's a little odd. But yeah, those are going to be tough. But I'm really looking forward to. And the next one, I'm not looking forward to at all. That was what's that guy's name?
Eros.
No, not Eros. With the guy that's playing.
Oh, it's
Harry Styles.
Harry Styles. I've never seen a Harry Styles. I know of a Harry Styles. I don't care. A Harry Styles means I'm bald, so I don't have a Harry style, I guess.
I feel this might actually be the first time that Marvel is screwed up with its casting.
I'm not seeing it.
But I don't.
Really? I thought it seemed right. Ladies,
they better have.
Can he act, Kevin? I mean, I have not seen him act. So if you've seen him, I'm okay.
He better have a really strong supporting cast.
He looks like Star Fox.
That's what I'm saying. When I think of Star Fox, whenever he came up and the way he's like a ladies' man, and like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But I've never seen him act.
He looks like Star Fox. I'll give him that. But I don't know if he can act.
I think that they're going to put him in the Stallone role from Guardians 2.
Guardians? Oh, maybe.
He's got to just kind of be there a little bit. Just a little bit. Just, hey, star power. Because everyone needs a Harry style of a beard. I don't know. And then I did the I even forgot the name of the troll that was with him. Because I've not been into Eros at all. I mean, that's not my.
Oh, I can't remember.
I felt like that was definitely rushed through. They did not finish the animation on him. He did not look finished at all. This is maybe nitpicking, and it's a post-credit scene. I'm not. I hope they're going to make him look a lot less like a cartoon when we see whatever that is they're going to be in. I think Guardians is glad.
I'm just glad that they had the Blade credits.
That's the only one that I cared about. I loved it.
Because the Eros end credit scene on a personal level did nothing for me. I'm like, okay.
Okay, last thing I want to ask. The ending of the movie itself, I've heard a lot of people are confused by it. I don't really know what there is to be confused about, but people seem like were confused about the ending itself. Does anybody have any insight on why people are confused on that one?
I haven't heard that anybody's confused. Have they said, do you know why they're saying that?
I heard people confused when we left the theater, and I'm not kidding. It's like, so why are they up there? Who's up there? Does this mean are they part of the universe now? Are they just going to be like watchers now? And
no, they're taking. He said he's going to look at their memories.
Yeah,
and basically they're going to be in judgment. He's going to judge them, and then now Star Fox and everybody are going to try to find. That's the next movie. They're going to have.
They're going to have to find him.
Are we going to see an Eternals 2, or are they just going to be a part of another franchise? I don't think I don't think this one performed well enough for event.
I would honestly be surprised if we see an Eternals 2. I'm with
Give us
you.
a TV show.
Think, maybe a TV show, or I think they're going to be worked they're going to be
in.
worked into the universe other places.
Probably in the Guardians.
Because to your point, it underperformed
badly.
And the last time one underperformed, it was Captain Marvel, which has now become the Marvels.
Yeah.
And they're bringing in 2 other Marvels. They're bringing in Kamala
Anything
Khan,
to cover her.
and they're bringing in Maria. Yeah, they're bringing in Maria
Rambeau. Brie
Rambeau.
Larson, we're good.
Monica, they're bringing Monica Rambeau in.
I like Monica.
Yeah, so they're gonna bring in and Miss Marvel's coming in too. So they're combining 3 of the games. So I would actually be surprised if we get an Eternals 2. I will even go a step far. As much as I love her directing, Chloe Zhao, who did this, she's a brilliant director.
You missed the mark.
Don't think we're going to see her in the Marvel universe anymore.
She's not a Marvel director.
Yeah, I think she
don't take this as a super horrible insult, but this could have been in the DC universe. Just because it didn't fit.
I mean, they had Superman in it.
Yeah. Mean
Superman in it.
Mean Superman.
Yeah. I think I enjoyed it, but I enjoyed it because I'm weird. I'm one of those people that did. I don't think it's the worst Marvel movie.
Oh no, that's Captain Marvel.
I still say it's Thor: The Dark World.
I'll take Thor any day.
It's so crappy though, man.
It's bad. It is.
So bad.
But okay, and with all the crap that I've talked about this, I still enjoyed watching this movie. So I don't want anybody taking this as like, I'm being, I don't like everything that I don't like. No, I can find a lot of things that I did like in it. Honestly, I just think a lot of it loses it loses too much magic on TV.
It's pretty.
That's why it's a theater movie. It is not.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It didn't work because you can forget about the story on the big screen. If you had it on little screen, we want more story.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's.
I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited to see what happens next, though. Like I'm not probably gonna. I'll probably watch it again, but not like
I will.
Me too.
Any other movie. But it's left me with so many different questions. Like, now you have cosmic energy right there in the earth. Is this how we get Galactus? Is this how all these other things? We thought of Namor, and it's just I don't know what happens next. And I'm really
set this up for Silver Surfer. Oh my gosh!
I didn't
even think of that.
I like the Galactus idea.
That's
Kevin.
amazing.
Yeah, because he has cosmic energy in there now.
Well, and especially since all of those rumors of possible Fantastic Four characters showing up in Multiverse of Madness. Because I told Dub and listeners, I'll tell you, the rumor is that Reed Richards will be in Multiverse of Madness, and the rumor is that it is Krasinski. Now it could be 100% bunk. And Doug's probably going to yell at me for this one because I haven't told him this one, but there's also a rumor that he will have his Sue Storm. Sue Storm is not who we think it is. The rumor is not Emily Blunt. The rumor is Charlize Theron. Because she apparently just recently had a meeting with Marvel to play a major character.
Hold on, let me get this in my head for a minute. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that either. I love her.
I don't feel great on it.
If she's not Sue Storm, I'm still perfectly fine with her entering the Marvel pantheon somewhere.
I agree.
Because I like her.
I don't see her as a Sue at all.
Yeah, but I think they were looking around Furioso. But that's a rumor I've heard. But the one that's really been getting a lot of buzz is the Krasinski, and it is.
I want to see Krasinski.
It is Reed Richards, and it is he's coming in Marvel. And it's coming in Multitude of Madness.
It would be a great way to introduce the Illuminati, and also now you get the X-Men because you have Professor X. You have him, so it could be a great way.
Yeah, I think this one is going to crack open because they've already started it. They've already started cracking it with WandaVision, And then they
And
did it
Loki.
even more.
In
Yeah, they did
Spider-Man.
it with Loki. They did it in a big way with Spider-Man. And even to a certain point, you could sort of say they did it in Hawkeye with Kingpin. So I mean, they're but I think this one they're going to crack it open, and I think they're going to throw all sorts of stuff at people.
Yes.
In this one, and so Illuminati. That's a good call. Good call, Evan. I think there's I can't wait for this for Doctor Strange.
Suddenly I'm more excited after having this conversation. Sorry, Kevin.
And I'd be interested.
No, it's okay.
I'd be interested to see what we get for She-Hulk, because we still have Moon Knight, which is coming next.
Well, Moon Knight's going to be an issue. Yep.
Next month or
yes, next month,
March.
Well, we all heard what happened with Moon Knight.
What happened?
The actor just passed.
No, not the guy who plays.
Oh, okay.
Knight.
I thought that was him. Okay, never
mind. Oscar Isaac is Moon Knight.
Okay,
is the Moon Knight. He's fine. It was a actor in it.
I'm trying not to dig too deep in because I want to be surprised by these. I'm trying my best.
I just saw Kevin, right? That trailer.
So good.
So good.
I think you guys are just best friends for life now. Awesome.
Right, we are. We're besties now. We have Moon Knight coming. I think it's March, and then we have Miss Marvel is coming too, and we have She-Hulk. And I think if the trend continues the way that they be doing, they're going to be busting open stuff that's Multiverse of Madness related throughout those too, until we get there. So
yeah.
And I mean, we've seen that America Chavez is showing up in Multiverse. We've seen her in I think she's in the trailer.
Yeah, she is.
For Multiverse of Madness. Yeah. And then there's somebody else too. Oh, Christine Palmer in the trailer. It's really fast. She's actually wearing her night nurse costume from the comics.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Because remember, it's her. There's like 3 characters who've played night nurse.
Mm-hmm.
She's one of them. Claire, who was played by Rosario Dawson in all 4 of the Netflix ones, and then there's another one. But yeah, it's real fast. She's in her night nurse costume. So
outstanding. Okay, so let's wrap this one up. let's hear our grades for the Eternals. Let's start with Kevin. What do you give the grade for the Eternals?
I'm usually pretty positive. I'm gonna get C.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Courtney, what do you grade this one at?
I'm gonna give it a B.
That's fair
because I enjoy it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I give this, it's popcorn movie. It's a C+. I don't have anything quote unquote against it. I didn't hate the movie. I will watch it again. I just wanted to love it more than I love it, I think.
Yes. It's a good way to say it.
Yeah, I think that's been my problem with a few of the last Marvel things that we've watched. I wanted to love it more than I do.
I do think it's interesting that when the first time you saw it, you told me that it was your absolute favorite.
It was amazing.
But on your subsequent rewatch, yeah.
I think it's interesting. This is not something that you should rewatch, I think.
Yeah, I'm not complaining, and I'm not calling you out on it. I think it's interesting, and I think you're actually. I think you're pretty indicative of what people are doing. I think they enjoyed it in the theater, and now they're watching it on Disney Plus, and they're like,
you see all the problems.
Sure, I like this as much as I thought.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a lot of it is you're sitting and it's just the spectacles there and the emotion is gone and you're in your logical mind on your second runs. You're like, well, wait, no, that doesn't make sense now. Wait, well, where is this person? I thought I saw this person a lot more. And I think that's part of, I wish I would have only watched this once, honestly. I would have called this probably an A- at the very minimum. On that first watch, it was you left with a great feeling, and then it's the subsequence when you think about it that I think is a problem. And I think that I don't think I'm the only one on that, to be honest.
I don't think you are either, honestly.
So that is a show, guys. Check out the website www.iheartgeekshow.com. Use Conway Paid X for it. Go to our Facebook, talk to us. Go to our Twitter. Go to our Instagram. Go to our things and the such. I don't know, everything. I'm Dub. I'm here with Kevin. I'm here with Courtney. Keep on geeking on, guys. We'll catch you next time.
You have been listening to the latest episode of the iHeart Geek Show. Make sure you visit our website at www.iheartgeekshow.com. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And if you check us out on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And keep on geeking on to all of you geek rock stars.